Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today. And today, the Washington Commanders are hiring Dan Quinn as their next head coach. Dan Quinn, who has been at the Dallas Cowboys the last 3 seasons as their defensive coordinator, has done a great job. A great job with that Cowboys defense. I know we just saw the Packers light that Cowboys defense up, but Dan Quinn with the Cowboys, with that defense, and running that Cowboys defense for the last 3 seasons has done a terrific job. And I was really surprised how bad the Cowboys were defensively in that game against the Packers. It doesn't shock me of the offensive struggles for the Dallas Cowboys in their playoff performance, but the defensive struggles is what really shocked me. It doesn't shock me that Dak struggles, the way that Dak Prescott struggled the way he did, or the way that offense struggled the way they did in that game against the Packers in the wild card. But what really surprised me was the way that defense played so bad, because throughout the last 3 seasons with Dan Quinn as the defensive coordinator, that defense has been really, been well put together. And Dan Quinn has done a really good job as the defensive coordinator with the Cowboys, and that defense has played really good over the last 3 seasons. And if you go back to the Atlanta Falcons, the Falcons defense always played really hard and played really well when Dan Quinn was the Falcons head coach. If you remember, Dan Quinn was the Falcons head coach for 5+ seasons from 2015 through 2020. I think he got fired mid-season in the 2020 season. And Dan Quinn was, the defensive coach, was running the defense when he was with Atlanta. They went to the Super Bowl. He had a record of 43-42 in his 5+ seasons. I like this hire for the Washington Commanders, but with this being the last head coaching opening, there are 2 men who have been 2 of the best head coaches in football of the recent. One of them is one of the best coaches to ever coach football. The other has been one of the top coaches in football over the last, 4 or 5 seasons. Both Bill Belichick and Mike Vrabel, who both have a Patriots background, will both not have jobs in the 2024 season. Now, who knows what will happen with Vrabel? Maybe he gets a DC job somewhere. Maybe he becomes a defensive coordinator somewhere. I don't know. Bill Belichick, I know, who will definitely not have a job. If he's going somewhere, it's to be the head coach. And most likely what Bill Belichick will be doing, what we've been hearing, what has been said, is that Bill Belichick, most likely now that he's not going to be coaching in 2024, might be doing what Sean Payton did when Sean Payton took a year off, and might go somewhere where 3 legendary players that he coached and won Super Bowl with are currently at staff at Fox, where Julian Edelman, Robert Gronkowski, and Tom Brady, which he won't be working with Tom Brady because Brady will be in the booth, but there's a chance you might see Bill Belichick be working with 2 of his former players on Fox, Julian Edelman and Robert Gronkowski. So I think that for Bill to take a year off would be great, but it's just surprising to me that 2 guys like Bill Belichick and Mike Vrabel would be without a job in 2024. But I think Dan Quinn, with the work he has done with the Dallas Cowboys over the previous 3 seasons, he is well-deserved of this head coaching job with the Commanders, and I think this is a great hire for Washington. Let's see how they change things up. They need improvement on that defense, and I think you really had to improve that defense. So I think it was down to probably Dan Quinn and Mike Vrabel for that Washington job. I think you needed to bring somebody in. You had to bring in a defensive coach, and I think Dan Quinn or Mike Vrabel would have been a great fit. I think Dan Quinn is a great fit. Now we'll see what they do in the draft with that number 2 overall pick. Does Caleb Williams fall to them? If Chicago decides to not, give up on Fields, we'll see what happens with the draft, what happens with other stuff. The Commanders do have some cap space, so there's going to be a lot of important decisions for the Commanders throughout the offseason. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.